If you pay close attention to where exactly your cat or dog sleeps, you can literally read what they actually think about you and your home. And sometimes that answer is not at all what you'd like to believe. Remember that feeling from childhood? You wake up in the middle of the night and there's a dog sleeping by your feet, warm and heavy, like a living blanket. Or you feel how a cat has settled into a comfortable position right on your head. Most people think it's just comfortable for them. They love me. It seems like there's only one reason: warm, soft, close to their human. But in reality, in those moments, two completely different survival programs are running in their heads, programs that formed over thousands and millions of years of evolution. The same spots, the same sleep, but two completely different meanings of what safety is. And if you look carefully at where exactly they sleep, you can literally read how your pet sees you, your home, and their role in it. Today we'll break down 10 places where your pets most often sleep. And when you learn the real reasons behind each choice, some of them might genuinely surprise you. Let's start with the most obvious place, which is actually the least obvious. Why they sleep in your bed. You lie down to sleep, and after a few minutes you feel that familiar weight. Your dog settles by your feet, warm and content, as if it's their natural right. Or your cat jumps onto the pillow, ignores all the space on the bed, and lies down right on your face. It seems obvious. They both love your bed because it's soft, warm, and smells like you. Partially, that's true. But the reasons why they're there reveal two completely different models of safety. When your dog lies in your bed, they're performing a ritual that's thousands of years old. In a wolf pack, sleep is a moment of maximum vulnerability. That's why wolves sleep together, for warmth, protection, to confirm social bonds. And here's where it gets really interesting. For a dog, sleeping next to you isn't just a habit, it's one of the deepest forms of secure attachment. Research from the University of Lincoln showed that dogs who sleep in their owner's bed demonstrate lower levels of cortisol, the stress hormone. Closeness to you literally calms their nervous system on a biochemical level. Your dog chooses your bed not simply for comfort for them, it's an instinctive need to be part of the family at the most vulnerable moment. Look at where exactly they lie. By your feet? That's a protective position there between you and the door. By your head? They're seeking maximum closeness to the center of the pack. A dog in your bed is saying, "This is my pack. Here I'm safe. Here I belong." Now, the cat. They jump onto that same bed, but their brain is calculating completely different parameters. Height, the bed is higher than the floor. That's already an advantage. Warmth, your body radiates 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Softness, optimal. Your scent, that's a marker of safe territory. For a cat, your bed isn't so much about emotional connection as it is about the optimal combination of conditions from a survival standpoint. They're choosing not you as the center of attention, but a place with the best characteristics where you are an important but not the only reason. When a cat lies on your pillow, they're looking for the warmest spot with a circular view and access to your breath as a heat source. Studies of cats have shown they always choose the warmest place within accessible range. If the radiator is 2 degrees warmer than your bed, many cats will choose the radiator. This doesn't mean the cat doesn't love you. It means that in dogs and cats, love is expressed through different behavioral mechanisms. For a dog, the bed is about social closeness and stress reduction through contact. For a cat, about choosing the optimal environment where your presence is an important but not defining factor. On the surface, one and the same habit, but deeper, two different strategies for what it means to be safe. Why they sleep by your bedroom door. You close the door at night. In the morning you open it and your dog is lying right under the door as if they've been standing guard all night. Or the cat sits there with a finally look as if you'd been restricting their rights. Many think they missed you, wanted to be closer. And that's partially true for the dog, but the mechanism is completely different. A dog by your bedroom door is performing the role of perimeter guard. In a wolf pack, there's always a sentry, the one who sleeps at the territory's edge, tracking potential threats. When you close the door, your dog's instinct activates an old program. Pack member in vulnerable state. Someone needs to control the entrance, predicts their need to control the environment. A cat sits by the door more often because closed doors limit their ability to patrol their own territory. Some cats even scratch at doors. This isn't a request for attention, it's a demand to restore access to all zones. Ethologists have discovered a fundamental difference. Dogs perceive closed doors as a boundary that needs guarding. Cats as an obstacle that needs overcoming to restore control. Why they sleep on your clothes. You toss a sweater on a chair, turn around, and your dog is already there, muzzle on the sleeve. Or you open the closet and your cat is sleeping on a pile of clean clothes, even though their own bed is nearby. The romantic explanation: they missed me and want to feel my scent. And you know what? For a dog, that's almost true. But the mechanism is far more interesting. A dog on your clothes isn't seeking a sentimental connection. They're using scent as a tool for neurochemical calming. Dogs have up to 300 million olfactory receptors. Scents for them aren't just information. They're an emotional language that directly affects the state of their nervous system. Your clothes are saturated with pheromones that signal to the dog's brain, pack is close, no threats. Can relax. When you leave home, your dog may feel mild anxiety, not necessarily dramatic, but the nervous system reacts to the absence of the pack leader. And here's what's really important. Lying on your clothes isn't just a familiar scent, but a way for the nervous system to return to a state of safety. Scent acts as a biochemical signal that lowers stress hormone levels. Studies have shown dogs who are left home alone often seek out the most worn items, t-shirts, pillowcases, and lie near them. This is self-soothing through sensory connection with the pack. But a cat on your sweater has a completely different program. Yes, they smell your scent, but for them, it's not so much calming as it is territory marking. Cats have scent glands on their cheeks, paws, and sides. When they lie on your clothes, they transfer their scent onto yours, creating a colony group scent. In the wild, cats that live in groups do this to mark their own. Your cat is thinking, this smells like human, but it should smell like human plus me. Then this will be our shared territory. They're not seeking comfort, they're integrating your scent into their olfactory map of space. Plus, your sweater is often warm, soft, and in a convenient spot. One uses scent to reduce anxiety through social connection, the other for chemical territory marking with an added comfort bonus. Outwardly identical behavior. Inside, two different neurobiological strategies. Why they sleep in strange positions. Your dog sleeps on their back, paws spread, tongue slightly hanging out, or the cat fell asleep curled into a tight ring, nose touching tail. Sleep position isn't random. It's a diagnostic of how the animal feels right now. A dog on their back in the dead bug position demonstrates the highest level of trust. In the wild, a wolf never sleeps on its back belly exposed, impossible to run away quickly. When your dog assumes this position, they're saying, it's so safe here that I can be absolutely defenseless. Plus, thermoregulation dogs don't sweat, and when they're hot, they expose their belly for cooling. But the emotional component is critical. Only a dog who fully trusts their environment allows themselves such vulnerability. A cat in a tight ring is guided by opposite logic. This is a defensive position, vital organs protected, heat loss minimized. The tighter the ring, the colder the cat, or the less secure they feel. Even a domestic cat instinctively maintains this behavior. If you see a cat stretched out, they're warm and relatively calm. But even then, cats rarely sleep completely on their backs. It's simply not part of their behavioral program. One allows themselves absolute vulnerability as a manifestation of trust. The other maintains a defensive position even in the safest home. Why they sleep in high places. You've been looking for the cat for an hour. You look up, they're sleeping on top of the wardrobe, and your small dog sometimes settles on the back of the sofa, even though there's a soft bed below. For a cat, height isn't a quirk of modern apartment living, but an ancient survival mechanism transferred into domestic space. Leopards drag prey into trees to protect it from competitors. Small wild cats sleep on branches, avoiding ground predators. When your cat sleeps on the wardrobe, they're choosing a strategic position, protection from ground threats, circular view of territory, warmest point in the room, heat rises. In homes with multiple cats, the most dominant often occupies the highest points. This is spatial hierarchy. Some dogs, especially small and alert breeds, also choose height, but for different reasons. It's not about protection from predators, but about an observation position. Small dogs are physically more vulnerable, and height gives a psychological advantage. They see changes better, notice events earlier. Plus, it's a way to be at the level of your face for visual communication without having to crane their neck. For a cat, height is a basic need for safety and spatial control. For some dogs, it's an observation post and social position. One feels protected up high. The other wants to see more and be closer to your gaze. Why they sleep under furniture. Quiet snoring under the bed, your dog is there, in the darkness. Or the cat disappeared, and you find them under the sofa, in a space that seems too narrow. A dog under furniture is seeking a den. Wolves give birth and raise pups in burrows, and even adult individuals seek such places for peaceful rest. The space under the bed is an artificial den, dark, quiet, protected from all sides except one. If your home is noisy, has children or other animals, the dog may seek such a place as a time out from sensory overload. Darkness and enclosure calm the nervous system. This isn't fear, it's a need for quiet to recover. A cat under the sofa has similar but more tactical motivation. Wild cats spend most of their time in hiding spots. This is both a place for rest and an ambush for hunting. The space under furniture is a controlled point with limited access. A cat may seem asleep, but their ears are active. They're tracking sounds and vibrations. This isn't just sleep, it's patrolling in standby mode. Plus there's only one entrance, and the cat controls who approaches. One seeks quiet for undisturbed rest. The other creates a controlled point for observation. And that's exactly why one and the same habit in dogs and cats can mean completely different things. Why they sleep in boxes and tight spaces. You buy an expensive pet bed. The cat ignores it and sleeps in a shoebox. Or your dog squeezes between the wall and wardrobe and sleeps there. A dog in a tight space is seeking physical compression, light pressure on the body that calms the nervous system. This works like hugs or swaddling for babies. In nature, wolf pups sleep in a pile, pressed against each other and their mother. This constant physical contact releases oxytocin and lowers cortisol. An adult dog in a narrow space recreates the feeling of safety through tactile pressure. This is especially noticeable during thunderstorms or fireworks. Dogs instinctively seek the tightest spaces. Compression equals pack, contact imitation equals stress reduction. But a cat in a box, this is almost the perfect form of controlled environment. A study from Utrecht University showed cats in shelters who were given boxes adapted to the new place faster and had significantly lower stress levels compared to cats without boxes. A box literally reduces stress in cats at a measurable level. Why? The box is enclosed from all sides. That's protection. It's small enough that the cat feels the walls. That's a clear understanding of space boundaries. It's opaque, but the cat can see outward perfect ambush and hiding spots simultaneously. Plus, cardboard retains heat. Your cat isn't being picky, rejecting the expensive bed. They're choosing what evolution programmed as optimal, an enclosed, controlled, warm space with limited access. For a dog, tightness is a substitute for physical pack closeness. For a cat, it's a combination of safety, control, and heat retention. Why they change sleeping places. Your dog sleeps by the radiator for a week, then moves to the door. The cat this week is on the sofa, next week on the windowsill, then on the wardrobe. A dog migrates following temperature and social needs. Cold by the radiator or in the sun, warm on cool tile, but also by the door when they feel the need to guard, by your feet for closeness, in another room for quiet. If there are several people in the home, the dog may rotate places, distributing their protective presence among pack members. This isn't choosing a favorite, it's patrolling through sleep. A cat changes places through territorial control and precise comfort planning. If they always sleep in one place, other territory zones lose their presence. This is also following heat. The cat knows where the sun shines, at what time of day. Morning east-facing windowsill, afternoon sofa, evening radiator. This isn't chaotic choice, it's microclimate optimization throughout the day. Plus, predictability is dangerous for a predator. Rotating places is instinctive unpredictability even in a safe home. One follows microclimate and social needs. The other follows the sun and spatial control strategy. Why they sleep by the window. Your dog by the window, looking at the street, periodically dozing. The cat has a permanent spot on the windowsill, alternating between sleep and observation for hours. A dog by the window is performing the role of sentinel. The window is visual access to external territory where potential threats or interesting events may appear. Even half asleep, they're monitoring passers-by, other dogs, cars. Something unusual, instant activation. This is watchdog instinct combined with the need for stimulation. The window provides access to visual information about the World Entertainment Center and guard post simultaneously. Plus, sunlight, warmth, and ultraviolet are beneficial for fur. A cat by the window is watching live prey. Birds, insects, leaves in the wind, squirrels, all of this activates hunting instinct. Even if they can't reach it, observation satisfies part of the need to hunt and provides mental stimulation. Cats without window access often demonstrate signs of boredom or even depression. The window also provides control. The cat tracks their external territory, which cats pass by, which birds live in the tree. This is an information database about the surroundings. Plus a windowsill in the sun can be 8 to 10 degrees warmer. One monitors territory safety and seeks events to track. The other hunts with their gaze while simultaneously charging energy from warmth. Why they sleep differently in your absence. The camera shows, when you're not there, the dog sleeps on the sofa, though they never do this when you're present. or the cat is suddenly on your bed, though they usually choose other places. A dog on the sofa in your absence isn't breaking rules. They're using your scent for self-soothing. When you're home, the social structure is clear. You're on the sofa, dog's in their place. When you leave, the sofa, saturated with your scent, becomes an object that reduces separation anxiety. This isn't disobedience, it's adaptive behavior for stress reduction through sensory connection with the pack. Plus, the dog has learned context. Owner home equals rule applies. Owner gone equals context changed. This is contextual learning, not cunning. A cat on your bed in your absence is using a temporarily freed resource. Your home bed is occupied or unpredictable due to your movements. You left bed becomes the best place. High, soft, warm, quiet. Some cats actually prefer the quiet of an empty house. People create noise, vibrations, unpredictable movements. Without people, space becomes calmer and more predictable, and the cat allows themselves deeper sleep in more open places that would otherwise be too stimulating. For a dog, the change is compensation for your absence through scent and contextual adaptation. For a cat, it's rational resource optimization in a changed environment. So, 10 places, 10 decisions, but behind each millions of years of evolution that formed two completely different strategies for what it means to be safe. Your dog sleeps by your feet not because it's more comfortable there, but because thousands of years of social evolution taught them pack equals survival. Your cat sleeps on the wardrobe not because of quirk, but because millions of years of solitary hunting taught them height and control equal life. Neither animal loves less. They simply speak different languages of safety and attachment. The dog says, "I'll be nearby always, because you're my pack, my world." The cat says, "I'll be here on my terms, because you're my safe base, part of my territory." Both choose you. Both trust. One expresses through closeness and service, the other through presence and environmental control. When a dog sleeps under the door, they're not rejecting you, they're protecting. When a cat's in a box instead of your bed, they're not indifferent, they're following a survival program embedded in every cell. Now it's your turn. Write in the comments, where's the strangest place you've found your pet sleeping? But which one do you actually prefer? The loyalty of a dog or the independence of a cat? If this changed how you see your pet, subscribe and tell me in the comments.